Goals, 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 goals. People talk about goals all the time. When you think about whether you achieve these goals, whether it's a success, whether you consider it a failure, there are a lot of things that you consider even while setting these up, because a lot of times people set goals and find out that they don't make any progress in their life. So this episode will be all about your goal making so that you can rush off into the new year, flying out the starting gate, ready to achieve those goals.
Welcome to the Licensed to Live show, where professionals, doctors, champions, VIPs, attorneys, and those in public office discover strategies that help you restart and gain what is lost when you find yourself accused. If another has doubted your integrity, questioned your credentials, or caused your actions to come under scrutiny, you are in the right place. On the other hand, if you have never felt the knot in the pit of your stomach when legal papers are served, the heartbreak of disappointing your family when the lock clicks shut on handcuffs, or had to appear before a board of review, then be aware, the longer you serve, the more likely you are to find yourself under the microscope of those who judge. Prepare yourself for this uncomfortable possibility. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jarrett Patton.
Welcome to this episode of Licensed to Live. My name is Dr. Jarrett Patton, and I'm your host for our journey together today and every day you choose to listen to this show. If you or anyone you know has been dissed in their career, please invite them to join us along this journey. Just go to your favorite podcast player and hit subscribe to the Licensed to Live show. Hey, and if you ever have questions, comments, feedbacks, you will feel like rating the show, please go ahead and do that and send me valuable questions, because hey, what do? We get an episode designed just for you. Today, we're going to continue our conversation on goals. We want to get your goals set up for the new year. We want to get your goals set up for every year. And we're going to set some goals today that will help you achieve greater success in the upcoming year. And we will get to this right after we finish thanking our sponsors.
Something smells good. EH3 coffee. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. Nothing better than waking up. EH3 in your cup. Premium organic. EH3 coffee. Nothing better than in the middle of your day. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. EH3 coffee.
Hey, this is Dr. Jarrett Patton. Do you need more positivity in your life? No matter what part of your life you want to transform, positive affirmations can help you achieve your goals. But sometimes making permanent changes can be difficult. Designed with you in mind, Licensed to Live, daily affirmations to rebuild your life will inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. Licensed to Live, daily affirmations to rebuild your life will set you on the path to changing your mindset, beliefs, speech, and ultimately your actions. You can change your life now by getting your copy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your finer book retails, or licensedtolive.com. That's licensedtolive.com.
This is Super Bowl champion Mike Logan, and you are listening to Licensed to Live.
Hey, guys, save the date. July 14th, 15th, 16th, 2023. Licensed to Live is back. It's back live. It's coming again in Philadelphia at the Bellevue Hotel. Make sure you save these dates. We're going to have another incredible lineup. There will be CME credits available for people, and it's going to transform your life. You've heard it from people time and time again. So save the date early so you can plan your trip to Philadelphia, July 14th, 15th, and 16th at the Bellevue Hotel, Philadelphia. Licensed to Live, the conference. 2023. Well, I set goals every single year. And when I think about setting goals, sometimes I hit them, sometimes I don't. And sometimes I didn't create the right goal for the right result. So I'm always analyzing and looking at the goals that I set out for myself every single year. And I know many of you guys are out there too, because some of you guys are looking for a new job. Some of you guys are looking for a new beginning. And well, what do you have to do? You have to set some sort of goal out there for you to make that progress. So we're going to get into some ways that you can make a goal specific to you and something that will push you forward going into the new year. A couple of years ago, I met Martha Stewart at Carnegie Hall, and she always says that she constantly has goals. Now, if many of you guys think back to Martha's legacy, you know that she had her own License to Live story when she had to serve a little time in federal prison. And in fact, she called it Camp Yale because she said she knew she could survive 5 months anywhere. But she knew that goals were going to be a part of her everyday life. And in fact, she called some of them Martha's rules. So these would be rules that she would live by. And she knew that she could do anything that she wanted to do, simply because she believed that she could do anything that she wanted to do, which had her change into different business partnerships, have different products and services that she provided. And one of her biggest goals was saying, hey, as time goes on, she wants to spend time with her 2 favorite grandchildren, which at the time were only grandchildren. But the point is that goals can be an important part of your life, no matter where you are, because the goals will advance you. So let's talk about these goals specifically. A lot of these goals are considered SMART goals. And I want you to, at the very basis, as you're outlining your goals for the next year, make each one of your goals SMART. And I'm go through the acronym as a review, just in case you don't remember. So for a SMART goal, that means it's specific, not a goal that's overall and overarching and very broad. It is actually something that is very specific in your life. So, and over the years, I have had a goal of mine to produce more podcasts. So if I wanted to produce more podcast shows, well, I would produce more podcast shows, but that is not specific enough. So I said, I want to produce 20 podcasts this year, or 30 podcasts this year, or 40 podcasts this year. And honestly, when I started adding up all the episodes between License to Live and the Who's Badass Kids Are Those podcasts, it ended up being way more over the goal, because I was actually only counting one, which was the License to Live podcast. However, you need your goal to be specific. So it is something very specific, and going along with specificity, measurable. You want your goals to be measurable. If they are not measurable, then you don't know if you achieve the goal. So if I were to pick a number and said, I want to produce 42 podcasts this year, then I know if I hit the goal. I simply go back to the archives, see what that number of podcasts produced was. And if it was 42 or above, I hit it. If it's 42 or less, then I need to evaluate why I didn't make that number, what happened, so on and so forth. So your goal needs to be specific and measurable. Now that you're putting yourself on a specific and measurable goal, you need to have something that's attainable. So using the same podcast example, if I said I wanted to come up with 848 podcast episodes over the next year, then I would have to say, well, that's a specific and measurable goal. Is that attainable? Well, probably not for me, because that would mean I'd be having to record multiple podcasts daily just to keep that level going on. That put a tremendous strain on my production team. I'd probably have to get a bigger studio. There'd be a lot of things that would have to go on in order to achieve that. And probably a clone of myself. And I probably have to stop doing a lot of the things I like to do, like coaching and speaking. But all that aside, you need to make your goal actually attainable, because you don't want to softball it and say, okay, let's just pick a number like 2, but you want to give yourself a challenge, something that you'll stretch, something that will demonstrate your growth, but also something that you can realistically hit. Because that comes down to that part of the end of the year when you're looking back and saying, did I reach these goals or did I not? R, relevant. Your goal must be relevant to your overall objective. So if you're looking for a new job, if you are trying to climb the corporate ladder like many of my clients are doing, those can be part of your goal. But having 848 podcast episodes, especially if you're not a podcaster, certainly is not relevant to your life. So we have to look at goals that are relevant to our overall success and the things that we are looking to do on a larger scale. So simply pick a goal within a subtopic of something overarching you want to do, like maybe something super broad, like having more career success, and make sure that that is relevant under that overarching broad goal. So you're really having kind of that broad idea of where you want to go, and you're chopping it down to a SMART goal so that the SMART goal helps you achieve some of that overall success. And then finally, the T is time specific. So you're looking to make sure that these goals that you have are coming in a timely manner, so that you don't say, I'm going to produce 848 podcasts, and then probably by 2027, I'll have that many podcasts. But that doesn't really help me grow the show in the way that I want to right now. So I would have that time specific over the next 11 months, because usually, as you guys know, which will be upcoming, is the top 5 episode, where we look at the International Association of Broadcasters statistics on the show, figure out what people like the most and why they liked it the most, and we go from there. So you want to make sure that you make these goals time relevant or time specific, so that there is an ending in which you can measure it and see if you attained it. So make every one of your SMART goals smarter. Make every one of your goals a SMART goal. But just creating a SMART goal is not everything that you need to have here, because what you really need to do is be able to see the goals. You need to visualize what these goals happen and what would happen if they come into fruition in your life. So first of all, I want you to literally see your goals. So some of you guys have an area that you have maybe a whiteboard, and you're using a whiteboard for some of those goals. Write some of those goals up on a whiteboard so they are in front of your face, a lot of the time. And so you can put them where it may be relevant for you. So if you're trying to have better dental hygiene, you might want to put that goal about brushing your teeth right on that bathroom mirror. So you say, oh yeah, right. Let's brush and floss. So let's look at what these goals mean to you and how often they will come to you. So I want you to write them down in a place that you will see them on a regular basis. So if you don't have a whiteboard, you can put them up on a piece of paper and hang them on a bookshelf, put them on a wall, put them somewhere where you have easy access to them, so that you at minimum get a subconscious reminder of what your goals are, because over time, especially if you're talking about a year-long goal, you may forget what those goals were in the middle if you're not really tracking them, you're not really taking that measurement. And you get down to your goal list and you said, oh, I forgot about that one down there. Let's take some steps to get on that goal. And so not only do you need to see them, literally see them, you may want to reaffirm them in another way. You may even want to record your voice saying these goals. And this kind of is something that goes on with the affirmations. You guys know about License to Live, daily affirmations to rebuild your life, but you are reprogramming your brain just as you are when you're using affirmations to see the positive things that are going on in your life. So you are listening to them as well. So pick up your phone, put it in your voice notes and say a one of these goals or two. So if you're sitting in traffic, you need another reminder. This way, again, it is something that is hardwired into your brain so that even if you aren't actively working on some of these things, your subconscious may be trying to problem solve for you in the absence of giving your direct attention to it. So, you may even want to add listening to them. So you're seeing these goals physically, you're listening to these goals, you're hearing them. So you believe that they will come true. You believe that you will make them happen. And then you use that visualization. You visualize yourself achieving these goals and what it means to you. You see how these goals are actually coming into your life and what this goal will do for your life and how it will make you more successful or happy or healthy or whatever goal you have. That's what you want to celebrate. You want to see what that success looks like. You want to feel how happy you're going to be. You want to see that smile on your face when you hit that achievement. Because, well, what happens after that goal gets reached? Then you have another one in front of it. And that is what we're going to talk about right after we finish thanking our sponsor.
The time is now to refresh your career. We help doctors, lawyers, executives, and VIPs refresh and restart. Dr. Jarrett's coaching helps you build confidence, gain more credibility, develop more leadership skills, and gain clarity in your career path. Want to climb the executive ladder or branch out on your own? We'll put your career in overdrive. Visit drjarrett.com and sign up for your free strategy session.
You know what? If you are having trouble reaching your goals, if you are having trouble defining your goals for next year, this is a perfect example of why you may want to hit me up for a free strategy session. Absolutely free. I love meeting people out there. I love meeting people that I meet on LinkedIn and virtually, and then we maybe get a Zoom phone call. And then when I get to your city, who knows, we may actually meet in real life. That has happened time and time and time again. And that's another reason I love being on the road. So don't hesitate to set up that free strategy session with me. Just go to timewithdrjarrett.com. So finally, after you have made these SMART goals, you are seeing these goals, you are hearing these goals, you are visualizing the success of you reaching these goals, it's time to make that action plan and say, how are we going to hit these measurements every single day? How are we going to hit these measurements every day? And if you're looking at these measurements under a microscope, it may seem like you're not making this progress, but you must take little steps every single day in order to get to these goals. And sometimes it may feel like you're not making a progress, but this is when you must take action and you start out on a plan. And it may not be a straight line, folks. Life is not a straight line. This journey that we're on together is not a straight line. You know, it's a winding pathway. This is one of the reasons why we have this show, because it shows people that people's lives are not linear. We have some awesome guests coming up that are going to have not a linear pathway, but have had tremendous success in their lives. That is what we try to highlight. But realize that these little steps that you're taking within this action plans lead to bigger steps. And sometimes you have to take a look back even before the end of the goal. I recommend taking a look back depending on how long the goal is. It could be once a week. It could be once a month. It could be once a quarter. But take a look back to see the progress that you are making toward this goal. So, hey, if I'm doing the 848 we know is not a SMART goal, but if I'm trying to make 848 podcasts in 1 year, I need to look after a couple of weeks to see if I'm on track. Have I produced, 20 something podcasts over these last 2 weeks? If I haven't, well, I need to take some action to see how I can carve out time to do that. Luckily, that is not my goal, because the more I think about this random number I picked, the more I know that's not attainable. But this is why the look back is important, because if you need to adjust that goal, or if you need to make an adjustment in your action plan, which is the first thing that you should be doing, it helps to take a look back to see what you've done to this point, and then what you are going to have to do over the next time period in order to keep you on track for that goal. I'm wishing all of you guys to make 2023, or whatever year you listen to this episode and you are rolling into, a successful one. And I want you to make it a successful one by making these goals, making them SMART, seeing them, hearing them, visualizing, and then, of course, making that action plan. And that's what life is all about. Sometimes you have to deviate. Sometimes you have to take a slightly different direction or approach. And that's okay. That's what life is about. These beautiful things that happen sometimes happen in error. Sometimes they come out of a disaster. You never know what's going to happen. But have these goals. Keep taking these mini steps little by little, and your life will transform right in front of your life. Remember, fire starters, if you or anyone you know is getting dissed, please invite them along this journey. Simply go to your favorite podcast player and subscribe to License to Live. And while you're there, please rate this episode and give me honest feedback so I provide you with the most up-to-date information about career challenges and life changes. And in between episodes, if you want to see what's going on, make sure you check me out on social media. I am at social media across the board. Well, still not on TikTok, at Dr. Jarrett. Spell out the word doctor, J-A 2 R's, E 1 T. I'll see you on LinkedIn, and I'll see you next time.
No matter how disheartening the moment of accusation sounds, how deep the pain of immobilization stabs, or how bleak your future looks, no one can take away your license to live. Keep Dr. Jarrett's expertise handy and unlock your future. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or another podcast player and subscribe right now to Licensed to Live. See you next time.